Hello, pop stars. Welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
Thank you for joining us. This week's episode is sponsored by All Hallows Eve Association. They help you celebrate Halloween the right way. Learn the history of the holiday and how it evolved into the glorious spectacle that we've come to know and love. They even help you decorate and transmortify your home into an All Hallows Eve delight. So check them out at spookyseason.com. Tammy, you like Halloween?
Um, I don't necessarily like go all out. I haven't done that since I was a kid, but yeah, it's an okay holiday. I just don't really like fully like get into it like that.
So it's not like you don't get all dressed up and all that kind of stuff.
No, like you know what I do? My costume every year. It's been my costume for a couple of years now. I wear all black and I tell people I'm Black Panther.
But you always wear all black.
So like one of my friends said that one time. She was like, ain't this your regular uniform anyway? And I was just like, yes. So, I guess I'm in costume every day. But I do that all the time. Like I put on my jeans, my black jeans, a black top, black headband, and I just put my fist in the air every once in a while. That's my costume.
Oh my gosh. Wakanda forever.
Oh, Wakanda forever. Now we gotta wear black, because you gotta wear white.
Yeah. So next
year
you're gonna
Chadwick Boseman.
So next year you're gonna wear white.
Huh?
Next year you're gonna wear white as your costume for the Black Panther.
Oh no, I was just talking about when I go see Black Panther.
Oh,
I gotta get my all white. Yeah, I gotta get my all white outfit. In honor.
In honor, yes. Side note, I know we put that on the list, but we're gonna have to check the calendar because we cannot let this year go by without doing the Black Panther episode. My bad. So wait, one more Halloween question. Just a side note, my mind be working funny these days. I need some good stuff. Let me stop. Okay, back to the subject at hand. So are you a Halloween Scrooge? Do you like give out candy to the trick-or-treaters, or are you one who turns off your porch light and says, "Do not knock on my door"?
When I lived in a house, I would give out candy. When I lived in Jersey, me and my mom would give out candy. But then, like, we live near a school, and like slowly you start to see kids don't trick they don't trick or treat like they used to. Like it was a big thing when I was younger, and nowadays like you just don't see the kids out as much. I guess that's because we live in a fucked up society. So but I would if I didn't live in an apartment complex.
Oh yeah.
I would be that one. I'd be that one with that full candy. And then you know what I would do? Because I always see it, but like I would be that type of person. I buy the full size bars and be like giving out like full size Snickers, so that everybody want to come to my house for my Snickers.
Oh goodness, no.
And then send them home to their peoples.
If Halloween falls on the weekend and I'm not at a Halloween party, then I give out. But when it comes on a weeknight, not so much. This year it's on a Monday, which is a tennis night. So if we have if we have regular tennis class, which I think we should, then I won't give it out. But I like Halloween. I like dressing up. I like the spooky stuff. I actually like scary movies. You like scary movies?
I do not, and I do not like scary movies, Eddie.
I ask you that all the time. Well, these movies today aren't scary. They're just gory. And they don't even have that mental creep factor. They're just like blood and guts. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of stupid. But
yeah, even the kids are like, man, I like, well, y'all know I don't watch, like, I always let my kids know I don't watch scary movies. It's not my thing. And then they always ask, Miss, what made you not want to watch scary movies? And then I got to tell the whole entire story of how I got to the point where I am a grown ass woman who does not watch scary movies. But yeah, no, not my cup of tea at all.
Yeah, I like the old school one. So if it has a real scare in it, then we good. But just blood and guts or some Blair Witch overhype, that shit was ridiculous. But so this week, if anyone has not figured it out, this week is our traditional Halloween episode, and we are going to follow up Halloween season, or we're going to get into Halloween season with the follow up to the '90s classic Hocus Pocus, as we review the sequel 30 Years in the Making, which sees the resurrection of the Sanderson sisters and their revenge plot for the city of Salem, Massachusetts. So tell me, what did you think of Hocus Pocus 2? Was it pure magic or amateur tomfoolery?
I think that it was so cheesy, but I enjoyed it. um, it was exactly what I expected it to be. It had like the corniness to it. It was a little cheesy, it was a little cliche. Um, but it also brought back memories of like I was the one who put this on the list because like I was a huge fan of the original. Like I love the original Hocus Pocus. Those that was one of like the movies every year. Me and my mom would watch that around Halloween time. It would always come on TV. So I definitely enjoyed watching Hocus Pocus too. What about you?
It was mid. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I put on here it was the middest of the mid.
Which is
I
exactly like I agree. I do agree. It was just very mundane kind of movie, but it served its purpose. That's what I was kind of saying.
Yeah. I like I said, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm one of those who I did not watch the original Hocus Pocus. After watching this, I was like, I know
Eddie.
that is my movie blasphemy, I guess. Um, but I and seeing Hocus Pocus 2 did nothing to make me want to go back and watch the original Hocus Pocus. I understand that, and especially the OG one, the original. I understand that's a cult classic. I understand it's a on
Mhm.
time favorite for this time of year and all of but yeah, Hocus Pocus 2, and I don't have a problem with them making the sequel, but you know how my mind works. If a movie just doesn't have me thinking all, if I'm just not drawn into the movie, I automatically go into writer director brain and start thinking about ways it could have been better, and I start dissecting it from that. I start analyzing and dissecting it from there. So I guess you know which version of me watched Hocus Pocus 2. Um, and I agree with you. It was cheesy, but it worked. The camp factor is not what I had a problem with. The cheesiness is not what I had a problem with. So that, and I'm with you. It actually worked. I thought I loved the little single when they come back, like the witches are back. Like that was funny, and it was cute. So there were some really cute moments in it, and there were some things that worked, and then there were some things that just like I think even for someone who hadn't seen the original, and what they're doing with a lot of these sequels, especially when they're making them so far apart, they're making them so that you don't have to necessarily go back and watch the original. So I'm not saying that you would to have done so with this had to have done so with this movie. Um, but for some reason I was still disappointed, if that makes sense. So um yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but the story of New York. So what did you like? Let's start with the likes. Let's start with the glows.
The glow. Oh my God! Please don't do that.
Because it's Halloween. I'm not doing the other thing. I'm just saying because it's Halloween. We're
With
sticking
the
with the
glows.
Halloween thing here.
I will say one thing that I love is the nostalgia of it. I was like I said before, I was a huge fan of the original. So having Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy, I never can say her last name.
Jimmy?
Najimy, is that how you say it?
Yeah, we'll go with
Okay,
that.
Kathy Najimy. It was just really, really nice to see them come back uh, for the sequel, because I know like they have been holding off on doing this for a couple years because They didn't want to do it without the three of them coming back and playing the Sanderson sisters. I love that. I also think it was really nice on how the girls, like how, you know, they manifested, and you know, the whole little drama, the little friendship drama that they had. I thought that was really, really nice. I always hated, and I say this every time that it's in a show or a movie we watch, I hate the dim-witted jock character. Hate, hate that. And maybe because I've never truly met a dim-witted like jock character that's that idiotic. Well, you know what? I'm lying. I'm lying. I have. But like it's always that. Like, but then he gets the girl and she just kind of like, it's okay, baby. Like, you know, you're smart in other ways. And I'm just like, no, he's not. But I don't know. Like I just like the campiness of it. It was entertaining. Like I wasn't falling asleep. I stayed focused on it. So I didn't necessarily do other things when I was watching it. I even liked Gilbert. He was a friggin' idiot. I liked the mayor with him trying to get all he wanted was his candied apple. He only wanted his caramel apple and could not get his caramel apple. So sad. And they had to go to Walgreens and just buy some random caramel apple so he could say that he had something. I love the basically like the Thriller dance that the town folks did when they were bewitched by the Sanderson sisters, as well as like their performance to bewitch the townspeople. What was it? One Way or Another?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really great on them like singing for their entrance and then singing to bewitch people. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love the singing part and the campiness, the cheesiness of it. It worked for me. It really did. And because I get that that's what it's supposed to be. It's a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's not where my problem was with it. I liked all the things that you liked. I liked the book. The book was funny. I loved Gilbert. You know, as misguided as he was, and I loved his sidekick, Billy Butcherson, the zombie.
Oh yes, Billy Butcherson. Yes,
And he
yes.
was like, when they kept saying, "But you were her boyfriend," it was one kiss.
He did more with the younger sister than he ever did with Winifred.
Yes, it was like the younger sister may have been the love of his life or whatever. You kind of get that feeling that there was more of a vibe between them, and that they were the ones who actually should have been called lovers rather than him and One Kiss Winnie. Like, and so he was like one, and I loved how he kept saying that. He goes, "No, no," and he goes. Gilbert's like, "It's okay, dude. I got you. I will make sure that the real story gets out from here on out. I will."
Oh wait, wait. Or what about the way like they went to the Sanderson sisters competition and then ended up losing, even though they were the original Sanderson sisters?
Yes, and the people who they lost to were so bad. Like they were the drag. I thought the drag queens were gonna win
Oh,
rather
I
than
did too. I really
I
did
was.
think it was gonna be the drag queens.
So I was like, you kind of knew that they were gonna lose, but it was like you lost to the worst people there who looked like they had the Walmart costume version.
And they were like sex symbols. Like they made those. And that's how they won. They were young, they had their hair fully done. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, how do you lose your own competition?
Yeah, so it was really cool. I was not crazy. Like I did like how the friend drama started, and I liked the parallels between them and the Sanderson sisters. Um, they changed it, updated it to the where these three girls were besties, and I love that. So there's some tradition, and you caught up on the backstory really well, or they did a good job of catching us up on that without having to spend too much time introducing everything that was going on between them. But yeah, especially if the boyfriend is going to come in between a relationship like that, did you have to make him such an idiot? It's like, wait, you chose this
Yes.
idiot over your ride or dies. Because it happens. Like when, especially that first love, when one of you gets a boyfriend, it's inevitable. Especially the first boyfriend, that they just naturally tend to spend more time with that boy. They're like, teenage girls. We've all done it, where your life just kind of revolves around that person, and you kind of get love blind or tunnel vision for that. But so I was like, but did he have to be such? Because even she looked at him and patted him on the back, like, oh, it's okay. Like,
Yes. Like she was patting him like he was a kid. Like, it's
y-
okay, baby. Like, you'll get it next time. And I'm just like, then why are you with him?
yeah. So he was even a little too dumb, So I was just like, okay, but I did love that, the drama. It kind of gave them something, and how they came back together. So I love the reuniting of them. I actually wish, like, okay, so what did you think could, let's go there. What did you think could have been different or better?
I have to think about that. What did you think could be better? I have to
Um,
think about that.
like I said, it wasn't the cheesy factor or the camp factor. I think the story needed work. Like it could have been so much better with the same cheesiness of the story. I think that the mayor should have actually been the original Trask. Like he should have turned out to have been their ancestor. Um, like, and it could have been more of a redemption story with the Sanderson sisters, and how instead of destroying the town, they end up trying to save the town from the OG Trask or something like that. And maybe more of a mentor turn, because I got it. I got where they were trying to go with the true love for the sisters, and how the ultimate power, like their whole reasoning for being there, it kind of got stale, as you say, or cliche, with them just wanting the power. And then, you get it. At the end, they have a choice to make, whether it's her sisters or the power, whether they sacrifice that to save the town and the girls who they. So I think it could have just had a little bit more depth. And I think it would have been a better story if there was a bigger purpose. Like the ending, I get what they were trying to do with it, but it didn't quite match up with everything else. You get that how much she loved her sisters, even though she talked about them like they were dogs, like they were trash. And Winifred was selfish and narcissistic, but she did love her sister. So it was just that, she was an interesting character, but I still say that the story needed some work. And I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about Becca and how she got her powers. I know it's Salem, and she was probably descended from some witch from Salem, but it would have been a little bit more interesting, I guess, to make it a bigger reveal, or to give you more of a hint that she had powers. So just those things, I guess. I think they could have done a
Maybe
little
they're
better.
saving that for the TV show.
Oh, they're getting a TV show.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's kind of like it leaves the door open to a TV show.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that so much with the new generation, with the girls, and just kind of as they discover themselves and their powers, and how to protect their city or what have you. Because that they were different, and I do like the idea that they were different from the Sanderson sisters, and and you and all of that. But yeah, it's just the story needed some work to me. Um,
Um, oh, okay.
but no, go ahead. I was about to ask
No,
you a
I was gonna
question.
say like I was thinking about it, and I think like I agree. I didn't. I like I thought like I like the mayor's like whole his whole apple thing. It was all about his apple. He'd been talking about it for weeks before Halloween, and he wanted his apple. But sometimes like I look at those characters and I'm like, how did you become mayor? Like how were you elected? How do you run a whole town, especially a town that's really famous? Like how do you run Salem, Massachusetts? Like that makes no sense to me. But I think two things I would definitely have changed has to do with the girls. One was the dim-witted boyfriend. Once again, I will say it. I hate that character cliche of the dim-witted jock. Um, can we get like give me I understand like you fall into that trope, but can we start going back to having jocks who actually are smart or who know how to do their work or at least try? Like for him not to like understand like social cues at all, he thought conversation. Are you freaking serious? You thought you were making
Oh yeah,
conversation? You're that yeah. I was like, you're
where he
that
was being
dim-witted?
so rude and disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
he's
and
like,
didn't
no,
even
I just.
realize it.
Oh, when she was like, you're a bully, and he's like, what? And he was like, I thought I was just no, no.
Be like, no, dude, not at all. And the fact of saying that the friend, their best friend, y'all grew up together, and you don't even call your boyfriend out for any of that. No matter like, because I feel like there was no loyalty from her. And what also made me mad is the party on her best friend's birthday and not inviting them. Like you're having a Halloween party, you know one of your best friends, whether y'all are talking or not, that's her birthday, and your dim-witted boyfriend is the one who mentions it, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, I was gonna talk to y'all about it. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Like, because I feel like their whole friendship got like destroyed. That was on Cassie. It wasn't on Izzy. It wasn't on Becca. It was on Cassie. On a reason why their friendship like deteriorated over the years as soon as she got her dim-witted boyfriend. But so that would be two things. I just hate those cliches. I really do. So I would change those. But once again, I will repeat myself. I love the campiness.
Yeah, and
it,
like I said,
it played into watching it every single year growing up.
yeah, the campiness works. Like that's what I'm saying. The changes I suggested or said, I they still work if you keep the campiness. Like and that's what I thought. Like when you saw the similarities, um, and they did the flashback to how the Sanderson sisters were quote unquote born or reborn as witches and what happened to them, how they got caught up in all of that Salem stuff. Um, and they saw, I thought, oh, okay, that's him. Like that's the real Trask. And just even through the years, like having been alive for that long, I thought that candy apple was the thing that was the one thing from this new world that he just truly loved. As part of who he was. And there's like, so I'm not saying make it darker or make it heavier, but you could have made it better. Because like I admitted, the campiness did work, the cheesiness did work. There were moments I did fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't any fault of the film itself. It was just really, really late when I was watching it, or really early when I was watching it, and so I made sure. Like, and once I realized, oh crap, like it was one of those moments where I didn't even realize I was asleep. That's how tired I was, and then I'm like, oh crap, I'm missing. So I stopped it, and I was like, all right, and when I woke up to watch it the next day, I made sure to go back even a little bit before the part where I realized I was asleep, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I wasn't, and there was no part where I fast forwarded or anything like that. I was just waiting for it to get better or to change, and so it didn't. And it didn't. And I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, the I want to say that the dimwitted boyfriend served his purpose, but he was too. I mean, they had enough comic relief in the film without him being so fucking stupid. You know, like the part where Billy Butcherson's body comes up without the head, and he sees it, and even after he's seen everything else he saw with the witches, it's like, okay, so Billy Butcherson's body comes up, and he just walks up onto him in the street, and he looks and he screams and he faints. Anybody would have done that. You didn't have to be a dimwit to do that. Because if a headless body just walks up on me in the street, fainting would be the least of my worries. When I come through, too, I would probably need a shower and a full underwear change. Okay, like for real. So I mean, it's like he could have served his purpose of being the distractor, or being not the bad guy, because he wasn't a bad guy, but just being the thing that came between the friends. And it kind of would have made it a little bit more believable if there was something more redeeming about him. Like if you saw what it was in him that made him so appealing that you would rather spend more time, besides him being the first boyfriend or whatever, if he had redeeming qualities. Because even like we said, even um Cassie looked at him like, why am I with this idiot, and you could tell that Cassie didn't want to do, like, when she agreed with him, she did it just because she didn't want to upset him but forget her friends. And she knew that, she didn't really want to, she wanted to be out in the woods with them during their traditional birthday thing rather than having a party. So you could see that that's not what she really wanted. So it's just that relationship wasn't really believable because maybe he was so dumb. I don't know, but yeah. Um,
I agree.
so they could have kept the character, just not played so heavily into the dumb stereotype, this dumb jock stereotype, but made him someone who was awesome, where it'd be like, yeah, hoes before bros, chicks before dicks, but that dude fine. I kind of get it, like there was something that made you understand the choices that she made. I was just like, dude, really? Okay. But yeah. Um, I liked it. Like I said, I like Gilbert. So did you have a favorite character besides the Sanderson sisters?
So I love Izzy partly because I actually like the young actress. The whole entire time I was watching Hocus Pocus 2, I was like, where have I seen this girl? Where have I seen this girl? I couldn't remember. And then after I watched it, I was just like, oh, Baker and the Beauty. She was the younger sister in the Baker and the Beauty. And I was just like, or the Beauty and the Baker. I forget which one goes first. And I was just like, oh, okay. I remember her. I thought she was really good when she was in that show. So I thought she did a really good job. I just liked how like optimistic she was. She was just trying to bring it together. And I also liked Becca. Like I think Becca and Izzy, I really like them too. And then Billy Butcherson, because he was on point. Like even when he lost his body, he was still speaking some truth. So those three characters, definitely my favorites. What about you?
Really calls body a useless sack of bones. Follow the voice, you useless sack of bones. Yeah, I loved Billy. He was just funny. He was hilarious. I liked Gilbert. I understood Gilbert's reasoning behind him doing what he did, although tricking the girls was not cool. Um, yeah, Becca and Izzy. I'm gonna say they almost didn't need Cassie.
No, they didn't need Cassie. I'm just being honest. They
Like,
did not.
maybe because it was the trifecta, but
Yeah.
yeah, and to have her serve a purpose. But like I said, and I guess that goes more back into what I was saying, just to reiterate, give the Trask family something to do. I'm not saying you would have had to make her bad like her dad, but just give them something more to do besides be extras like window dressing. I don't know. So, but yeah, I liked Izzy and Becca. And I did. I think Billy Butcher, he in the few scenes that he had, they stole the show. Him and Gilbert had the best bromance. They were like, they were funny. So, he was, he's like, why are you taking my head? So, but yeah, other than that, so should there be a sequel, do you think?
No, but I can see a TV show with the new generation if Disney wanted to go that route, put it on Disney Plus, because that's where everything is going now. Everything's going to streaming, because everybody streams. But yeah, I could see a TV show, not a sequel, not a Hocus Pocus 3, but maybe a spin-off TV show with the new generation.
Yeah. And did you watch the end credits?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Gilbert lied. Go figure. There is another black flame candle. So,
Okay.
but that was pretty much it. His cat. What was the cat's name? Goblin. Goblin. I forgot the cat's name.
I forgot the cat's
Um,
name too, but I know who you're talking about.
yeah, but the cat is in it. The black flame candle is in the store, and the cat just kind of stumbled up on the black flame candle, and kind of pointed it out. So there is another black flame candle, um, and I agree. If there is a Hocus Pocus 3, I don't know. I think I'm with you. I'm more interested. It should focus more on the new generation if you do the movie route. I think it may have been a good passing of the baton and maybe have the sisters just kind of show up in cameo roles, unless you're going to give them something more to do than try to destroy the city of Salem and become megalomaniacs, then yeah. But I agree with you. I would actually watch a series with the girls and about them coming into their power and their own, because I think that's where the story is. So I wouldn't mind that so much at all. I think that would actually be kind of interesting, to watch something like that, to see that. So where, since you've seen the original, where would you rank Hocus Pocus, the original, amongst your favorite Halloween or holiday films? Because technically Halloween's a holiday, isn't
It is.
it?
Um.
Okay.
Oh gosh, Eddie, why you always put me on the spot? I okay, so I will say I've said it before. It was a tradition movie that me and my mom watched around Halloween. There are certain movies that we watch all the time. Hocus Pocus is like Love Actually to me, right? So when it gets closer to Christmas, I watch Love Actually at least once around Christmas time every single year. It's just a tradition that has been going on since it actually premiered, and the same thing with Hocus Pocus. So at least once a year for Halloween, I would watch Hocus Pocus just, for the nostalgia, just to enjoy it, because it's not a scary movie. Um, so it would be definitely be one of my top ones, seeing as how I try to watch it at least once a year. So it would definitely be one of my top not just Halloween, but holiday movies that I watch every single year.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite Halloween film. Like I said, scary movies aren't what they make them out to be anymore. But I have enjoyed our tradition of finding something to watch and review for this time of year. So I don't, like I said, since I haven't seen it, I wouldn't rank it about. Before, one more thing before we go, have you heard about the controversy? The women who went viral for panning this movie, saying it was demonic and satanic because witches ate the souls of children.
Wait, the women who what?
Yeah, there are some mothers from Texas, go figure, making our state look even worse. Um, they went viral at Facebook, of course. So they were on the they were on the demon site of social media, or the demon of social media site, saying how the movie, they caused this whole big uproar that the movie was demonic because the witch was talking about sucking the souls of children. And I'm like, did you not see the original? Like, is this just a new thing that came along?
Get the fuck out of
So
here. Moving on.
and yeah, like Disney, why making this whole thing? And I'm like, okay, some people do anything for that little 5 seconds of social media clout just to
They
have a
would, so they can
trend,
feel like they're important, which you are
have
not, and we don't
have a
care.
hashtag, by your name. And I'm like, really? And that's where everyone's like, dude, bitch, it's a movie, and it is a Disney movie at that. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, Halloween ends, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the shit you ought to be mad about. And that shit was based on a true
Jeepers
story.
Creepers. That's what you need to be mad about. Final Destination. Still can't watch those because.
Yesterday, what? No, Friday was the anniversary of the trial for the dude in the real Amityville horror. So I'm like, that's the shit you need to be concerned about. But Hocus
Mm-hmm.
Pocus on Disney with some fake. Oh my gosh. Okay, one other thing. Her flying on those sweepers, those
What? Oh my God! What are those things called?
I can't even remember what they're called now. The
Oh,
room,
darn
the
it!
room things. Yes.
Oh, I forgot. But okay, so then that comes up with another one of my favorite scenes. Now that you brought that up, where they followed the sisters around and ended up at the house where they had trapped them around with the salt. And they're like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh! Look, they're coming! They're coming! You know how they hate anything dirty." So they just started cleaning all the salt up, and that's how they were
Yes.
able to escape. Such a cute scene. I'm sorry, like I love that scene.
Yes. So I mean, and that's what made me think about that. It was like you don't need to be worried about witches flying, flying around on those damn zoom sweeper things, those Roombas.
Rumbas. There we go.
Yes, on the fucking Roomba. So all right. How would you rate Hocus Pocus 2?
So for nostalgia, I am gonna rate Hocus Pocus 2 three popcorns. I'm giving it three popcorns. I enjoyed it. It will never surpass the original. I'm gonna be honest. I will still watch the original before I watch the sequel, but it served its purpose. I said this in the beginning, and I will continue to say that to anyone who asks. It serves its purpose. If you enjoyed the first one, the second one just for what it brings in the childhood memories that you had. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I am going to boost it up. As we were talking, I realized that I enjoyed just the different things, enjoyed it more than I had originally given it credit for. So I am going to give it 2.75 stars. It wasn't low.
Yay!
It wasn't anywhere near Mulan, okay? But I had it really at the midpoint. I had it originally at 2.5, but I'm giving it 2.75, creeping up into the 3 level, but it's just some of those plot holes or just the story needing some work that I couldn't quite bring myself to give it a 3. But if you have kids, if you want just something, if you want just a goofy campy Halloween movie, something that kind of offset the stuff that's coming out like the Smile and Halloween Ends, and if you don't want the blood and gore and you want something that you can just watch with your family, then I would definitely recommend Hocus Pocus 2. Make it a double feature, go Hocus Pocus and then Hocus Pocus 2 and enjoy. And despite what I don't know, moms against Disney or moms against Hocus Pocus or Halloween, whatever they have to say, the Halloween Karens, whatever they have to say, the movie is really good. And I think children would like it. It's nothing scary or inappropriate in it. So, um, all right. Oh my God. Except for when he says a virgin, she's like, well, why can't you light the candle? He looked there. She goes, ew.
Oh yes, the Gilbert thing. You right.
And then he's like, but what? And that kid goes, what is a virgin? And he goes, someone who has not had their candle lit.
And the mom is like, okay, that works.
That works. So, there are cute moments in it, but yeah, so again, proof that I enjoyed it more than I originally gave it credit for. Well, that does it for this episode of the Popcorn Line Down. Please be sure to like, listen, comment, follow wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You can keep up to date on the latest in entertainment and pop culture news, as well as other amazing kernels of pop culture goodness at thepopcornlinedown.com. That's it. That's the plug. Pop, 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 pop. That was my zombie pop. Thank you. Thank you as always. And be sure to tune in next week when we will discuss Netflix's latest K drama, Little Women. I'm looking forward to this. I've heard good things about it. So I am looking forward to discussing that and seeing what you thought. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going to get started on that. Anything? Are you excited about it?
Of course. I'm the one that suggested it.
Oh, gosh. Okay. And in the meantime, we're gonna double check and see where Black Panther 2 fits in on our calendar because I know it's there.
Oh, you're gonna have to look at that yourself, Eddie. What you trying to delete is the question.
We'll see. We may have to do a double feature because we gotta do Black Panther 2. Until next time, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy. Bye.
Peace.